The market is buzzing, and today, no fluff. In the last video, we talked about AI coins, and now I'll show you two bright Layer 1 representatives that haven't yet grown into massive caps and still have room for interesting upside. I'll explain why I'd add them to my shortlist. Real tech, live metrics, and solid tokenomics, without holy spirit narratives or memes. Plus, we'll go over a few bullish factors that give me a bit more optimism on the market. Let's go. Short, sharp, and to the point. Friends, before we dive into the market outlook and the coins themselves, please note, this video is not financial advice. It only reflects my personal views and market assessment. Always do your own research and invest wisely. All eyes are on the Federal Reserve. Why does this matter? Because any news or even a hint from Powell is already moving prices, and the majority of participants are convinced September will be red. History gives them arguments. In 2013, 2017, and 2021, September always closed negative, but the cycle already broke in August. A month that was usually green turned red this year. The market is finally waking up. We see Solana, ENA, and other alts breaking upward, while all attention is on the 17th, the key date the whole crypto world is waiting for. But while most just watch, those who've been following my videos have already seen early signals on these coins. And here's the important part. This isn't even the main start yet. The market is showing more and more strength. There are a few bullish indicators right now hinting that we may be at the beginning of something much bigger than a local bounce. Let's start with the risk barometer. The long uptrend since December 2022 kept BTC dominance above trend, and right now we see rejection from the 60 to 65% zone and a break of that support. Why does this matter? Because when BTC dominance breaks down, capital doesn't leave crypto. It rotates into Ethereum and alts. Confirmation? A monthly close below trend, ideally with a retest from below. A fakeout would be if the candle jumps back above trend and breaks the lower highs-lows sequence. In that case, rotation should be paused. Another key factor is the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. This is often called the alt season indicator. When Ethereum outperforms BTC, the market usually enters a risk-on phase. After a long and painful bleed, Ethereum to Bitcoin has broken out of the downtrend and is approaching the approximately 0.04 level. Historically, closing above 0.04 has opened the door to moves in the 0.045 to 0.05 range, the zone where alts caught their breath in past cycles. The backdrop strengthens the case. The Ethereum institutional narrative, ETF flows, RWA, stablecoins as infrastructure. And let's talk about one of the biggest drivers for the market, the dollar. The dollar underpins the global financial system, and its dynamics directly impact crypto. The key metric here is the dollar index. Recently, the dollar has started dropping, and that's a factor many have been watching. A weaker dollar makes Bitcoin and other digital assets much more attractive to investors. In fact, we're now at the lowest levels in the last 3 years. So friends, the fact that not all our altcoins are mooning right now doesn't mean the chances are gone. On the contrary, the market is only starting to rotate capital, and there are still coins that haven't overheated yet. Next, I'll walk you through two altcoins that haven't flown too far yet, but have all the chances to become real favorites in the coming months. So keep watching. And before we continue, make sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel. That's where I share even more analysis, technical breakdowns, and my own trading moves in real time. We've already looked at the big market picture, sentiment, key indicators, bullish signals, but now it's time to get specific. Which altcoins look the most promising right now? I've prepared a breakdown of coins that haven't yet soared too high, but are already showing very strong results. The first one, Say. Let's start with the freshest update. On September 4th, Syscan was launched. Say's own explorer built by Etherscan. That's like a stamp of quality. Say now has Ethereum-level transparency. For institutions, it's a signal that the network can be audited directly, with no gray zones. For developers, it's a must-have. as every transaction and contract is now available through a familiar tool. But Say isn't stopping at developer infrastructure. On July 31st, Backpack Wallet added support for the network, giving more than 100 million users direct access to Say DeFi and gaming. And the biggest driver? The Giga upgrade. It truly took Say to another level. Block finality under 400 milliseconds, throughput over 200,000 TPS. Add to that 581 million TVL, millions of wallets, and growing user activity. This is the foundation where you can build perps, RWA, and any high-frequency DeFi applications. So Say today isn't just a fast chain. It's becoming a platform that's convenient for developers, attractive for institutions, and validated by real users. Friends, now let's talk about another very interesting Layer 1 player, Sui. In 2025, it became one of the most attractive developer platforms. CoinFomania even listed Sui among the best blockchains for developers thanks to its speed, scalability, and usability. That's not just marketing, it's a real foundation for product building. On the institutional side, there's serious movement too. Public company SUI Group, Nasdaq SWIG, increased its reserves by another 20 million tokens, now holding over 101 million SUI worth more than $330 million. That's a clear signal. Institutions view Sui as a reserve asset. Add Sygnum Bank from Switzerland offering custody, staking, and even loans backed by SUI. The total investment in this infrastructure has already exceeded $450 million. Of course, the market isn't one-sided. Indodax shows a bearish scenario with possible pullbacks. DEX volumes have dropped, TVL has dipped. But those large institutional holdings we just mentioned can act as strong support, keeping the price from collapsing further. Other experts, however, are more bullish. Some even project potential 2x growth. So opinions differ, but the main consensus is clear. Activity around Sui is rising. Another important point, in Q2 2025, Sui's TVL reached $1.76 billion, with daily DEX volumes close to $370 million. Cetus and Bluefin lead the pack. Meanwhile, Grayscale launched a Sui Trust, and 21 shares filed for a SUI ETF. In their research, Grayscale literally wrote, "Sui was built for scale and mass adoption." And this connects perfectly with what's happening on the ETF front. The SEC is moving to shorten approval timelines from 240 days to 60 to 75. Cboe is preparing to launch perpetual Bitcoin and Ethereum futures as soon as November. Dogecoin and XRP are also nearing ETF status, which could bring new liquidity into the market. Most importantly, Ethereum ETFs have received a new in-kind mechanism, making them more efficient and attractive to institutions. Real money is flowing in. So friends, even if we see a short-term correction on SUI today, the bigger picture tells a different story. Infrastructure is growing, institutions are coming in, and the ETF market is opening new doors, which means altcoins like Sui still have a shot at being the silent rockets of the next major move. And that's it for now. Remember, these are just my personal thoughts on the market, not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more coin breakdowns. See you soon!